Hey, what's up, young world? It's Anayar, and y'all already know it's RF an opinion. So, I want to tell y'all what happened. So, have maybe this happened to you guys before, so I'll just give y'all a little, tell you what happened to me. so, um, like I said, I always go soak up the sun in the morning and at night. I always look up at the stars. And I'm always talking to the trees and talking to the wind and all of that. You know what I mean? Because it's all a part of this program. You know what I mean? So you gotta experience it, enjoy it, love it. You know. But so I I asked the question, and I walked in my house. I sat down, and I got a download. But here's the thing. I've gotten downloads before, but this was the first time when the download smacked me in the face. My question was immediately answered, but that's not why I'm here. Why I'm here is because I was going through the process of the download and the excitement of receiving this download. I'm sorry, that's my dryer. Yeah. But anyway, so going through the process of receiving this download. Sorry, it's hot, very hot here in California. But anyway, I had to sip some water. So as I'm going through the process of this download and enjoying it and just like, thank you for the download and thank you for the experience. Wow, this was amazing, to actually feel it smack you in the face. I'm going through this, and if you listen to my previous meditation download, you'll understand what I'm talking about when I say I received a download. Okay, but I don't want to talk about that. This is completely different. But it's a part of it because they're kind of coming back to back right now. So anyway, so I'm going through the emotions, like I said, of receiving this download because it smacked me in the face, and I'm just like stoked. I'm excited, and I'm just like, that's what it feels like to get a download, because all the other times I got the message, but I didn't receive the download like that, or it just went over my head, and I still figured out that was the message later. But that's a part of my human design, if you know anything about that. Sometimes shit happens like that for me as a manifesting generator, if you know about that. But anyway, yeah. So I've never received a download quite like the one that I just received. So I'm going through this, and I'm just like, wow, man. I need to record it, so I did, and I made it. But during that process, I'm doing things after I record it, and I'm setting up, and I finished my Haritaki tea, and I, went and washed my cup, put it in my sink. Well, I washed it and I dried it and I put it away. And, I got me some water. Because I was on a 24-hour fast and I had just ate. And I'm vegetarian at the same time, so it was like I was on a 24-hour fast, so I was like, okay, I'm done. I ate whatever, but I'm just telling y'all the story. So I had my harataki, washed the cup out, put it away, and I'm still stoked, and I'm just like I'm in shock, I'm in belief, because it's like I said, I received them before, but they went over my head, and I figured it out later. But this one smacked me in the face. So I'm doing this, and I'm setting up. So after I record, I go and I do all that, and then I come back in here to see if the recording has stopped rendering, and it was. So I sat down a minute, and then I stopped what I was doing, and I went back outside. And I went back outside, and I said, I looked up at the stars and said, wow, thank you for the download, because to me, it's like, this is all a program, like I said. But, it's like, yeah, I dig it. I understand, and I'm cool with that. I'm at peace with it, but I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? I'm like, if you listen to the other one, you understand. But I don't want to talk about that one. I don't want to give it away. But it's a part of this. And I'm just like, I dig it. I understand now, and I get it. And I understand how to move. And I truly understand that, whatever you think comes into play. It literally comes into play in the 3D. So, but we all here. And I was like, cool, And yeah, I started thinking to myself. So before I came back in to talk to you guys, I got my cup of water, because I left it outside, and I, filled it back up. I poured the water out, put some more ice, filled it back up, and I came in here and I sat down, and was getting ready to just spruce up this amazing download that I just had, and then immediately I sat down, and as I'm doing that, I started thinking to myself, I was like, what was the key to that download? What was really the key? Because the download itself was amazing. But what did I actually learn from the download? And I was like, I don't know what that, it was like a voice in my head that said that, right? It was like, you received the download. You just got smacked in the face. You received the download. But what did you get out of the download? I'm not joking. This question just kept coming in my head and coming in my head and coming in my head. What did you get out of the download? And at first I was like, the download of what I learned was what I got out of the download. But I kept hearing the question. So then you start to know, if you're really spiritual, you listen. If you mess up, you got to do it over. If you mess up, you got to do it over. But it was coming rapidly. It wasn't like, okay, I'm going to let this one go over his head this time. No, it was coming rapidly. And I was like, oh shit, I got it. The download was awesome. But there was another lesson within the download. And like I said, I had went back outside and I was like, yeah, I got that. I received it. That was awesome. Thank you. And it was like, immediately I got another one. And a lot of people say when you wake up, manifestations happen real quick. And it was just like, wow, okay. I got it now. So I'm gonna fill y'all in on what this download was. And I really hope y'all actually get it. Because the download I got is kind of slick. So you gotta understand. Because it's very esoteric. Very, very esoteric. You really gotta understand. So the download went like this. It was like, you experienced the slap in the face download. But what did you get out of the download? Once I figured it out, what I got out of the download was, you have to listen, but not with your ears. Let me say that again. The message, this download that I got, said you have to listen, but not with your ears. What do you guys think that means? Because I think I know what that means. I think that means it's true. You don't listen with your ears. You listen with your inner self. You really got to speak to that. You really got to dive deep dive into that. And when you listen, but listen without your ears, you really get the answer that you're looking for. Because I think otherwise, like all the other downloads, it's just going to go right over your head. And you're going to end up figuring them out later. And I appreciate both downloads. But that really, that one really sunk in. If you know what I mean. If you've ever experienced anything like this. You know what I mean when I say it really sunk in. Like, you know what I mean? That one wasn't as exciting as the first one, but I understood the message clearly because I listened without my ears. When you really understand what's going on, it really changes your perspective. And when it changes your perspective, I want you guys to know that when it changes your perspective, it really changes in your favor how you play the game. It really does. When you think about it, it really favors you on how you play the game. Listen without your ears. I mean, if you understand, if you truly understand, then you get it. But if you don't, then I'm absolutely sure that it went over your head. And I'm hoping that you will get it sometime later, but sooner than later. But for the other people who know, understand what I mean when I say that. Because these downloads is serious. The first one slapped me, and I was excited once I figured out what it was. And then this one smacked me, and I was like, oh, but that shit was actually pretty deep when you understand what that means. And I'll give you a clue. You have to understand this is a program. So there's programming and a programmer. That's it. And remember that you control what you think. You control what you think. Think about that, young world. That's it. This is our effing opinion, and I am Sun Ayar. Peace and love, young world.